Hi everybody, this is Gross Spencer here, coming with a short video because I have a question. I've been painting my Persian army. I've been working on the guard infantry, basically. Kind of the royal infantry, I guess you call them the apple bearers. Not, I wouldn't call them immortals, they were more of a later period. But I'm having a little bit of a color problem. I painted all of them on the same base coat. I use a Vallejo air primer, a brown, and then I like to work either up or down from a brown. I always find the black, it just kind of, when I go to paint on top of black, I can't see half the detail. So I go with a brown. And so what I have happen is I have two different colors of purple that have come out. One is more of a very traditional looking purple color. I don't know if you can see this or not, but more of a traditional purple color on his cloak, his jacket. And then with another set, I have more of a red color has come out. I have no idea why. Same base coat. My wet palette. There's the big purple stain. That's the same purple I used on both models. Oops. So I'm a little perplexed. If anybody's got any ideas as to why this would have occurred, my brush was clean. There was have 12 models that is one color and 12 models that are the other, and I painted them all the same evening. It wasn't like I got up and left and came back and repainted. I painted all the jackets, the purple the same evening. Very perplexing. That being said, I'm making good progress on my Persians. I've got this guard infantry unit left, maybe a couple of units of skirmishing archers, and then off onto another unit or two of Greek hoplite mercenaries. I've got one big unit of hoplites, and I've got 5 small units of different types of skirmishers, slingers, and javelin armed skirmishers, peltist. So I'm not sure how I want to break up my forces, because at least in Hail Caesar, you have to have 2 units of your combat infantry, basically 2 units of hoplites for every unit of skirmishers that you have. So I don't know if I'm going to break up those units of 40 into 2 20s and then run them 4x5. Give them that phalanx look, but that makes them very small units. That makes them small units, so they would become more fragile. But I've seen that small units of heavy infantry are not nearly as fragile as it appears, especially when I have my Romans and I use them in I put them in cohorts. So I use them in small units, and I have no problem with them. They work really well. Matter of fact, I think I've got a video up on that topic, and I've got a video up with a battle report in which I actually used them in triplex aces in the cohort formation. They're a lot of fun that way. They're a lot of fun. I can't wait to get back to work on them, because that army I had, I pulled the trigger too quickly on purchasing different sorts of allies and stuff for them. I found out that the time period that interests me the most, the allies that I purchased, came later. And so I sold all those, and now I'm in the process of putting together new allies for my Romans. More of a Spanish flavor army. Very interested in that time period. Marius, Sulla, some of the problems that went on. There's a certain character that I find very appealing that was running Spain at the time. He was one of the last of the Marian holdouts. His name was Sartorius, and I read a book on him, and I'm fascinated. So I'm building my army completely kind of around that theme of his cohorts that he had, and then all of his Spanish allies. So that's interesting. Well, back to my Persian. So with I think I've got enough of my cavalry done, but now I need to work on those last guard infantry unit and maybe some skirmishers and stuff and some hoplites, and then that very large army will be done. I'll be probably posting some, I think I've got some pictures on file of what I've got done up to this point, and I might put them up later. I don't think I've done anything on my previous painting challenge stuff with. I did do a lot of the cavalry because I did one video where it was all about painting in white, because a lot of their cloaks I did in white and stuff. So because I had never really been comfortable with painting in white, and so I had to force myself to do that. And by the end of the challenge for myself, I got much better and much more confident on how to do white on a model. Maybe I'll post some of those pictures again with this video. But again, if anybody's got any tips, any sort of suggestions of what I might have done or how this can occur, send me a line. Get back, let me know what I did, because I'm kind of puzzled. I've been painting a long time, but I've never had the same color out of the same pot come up so differently before. And like I said, I've based all these models the same. I'm very perplexed. So if anybody's got any suggestions, please drop me a line. And good evening, and I'll get back with you on the weekend. Thank you very much.